Hello, CNG 212. Welcome back to Monday. Um, had a few emails about projects. Um, saw one person's actually presentation on how he was going to attack the project was really good, but answered a few questions about projects, and I'll jump into that in a little bit. Here we are looking at our very last chapter that we're going to read. Nano servers, Windows containers, which is a very, very good introduction into what is a container. A container is just not a full-blown computer, not a full-blown server. It's enough RAM and CPU that it can run a specific task designated for that. Um, yeah, so really cool chapter to start to comprehend. Um, Crazy that it's this, but that's good anyhow. I wanted to show idea about um, doing it in AWS or Azure. They're going to be very similar. I'll have to remember my Azure password or just reset it here. But once again, here is a server. It is running in US West. It both has a public IP and then also has if we look here, we have a private IP. So then if I was to draw a network address from this, I would have both, I should say two NICs, um, one facing outer, one facing inner, and then whatever is going to be connecting to this server. If we go here and look at security groups, we can currently see that I'm allowing all traffic to go to this it's specifically a web server, it's just an Apache server. But I would, since I was just setting this up, I'm allowing all traffic to it. But since I just want to start to minimize traffic to it, I'd go into PuTTY, get my PuTTY console, go into PuTTY, and then start to say, okay, if I'm going to SSH into this, I need to have the right IP address, SSH into it, make sure I have a key to it. Brother, and here's my key. So I have my key associated to it, and then once I have the right IP in there, click open. It would get inside of there. But I would want to definitely not have the all traffic, all protocols on all ports allowed, because it's leaving a web server pretty vulnerable. Um, when I don't even have the user set up within that test server besides root. But I'm trying to give you guys an idea of how to accomplish your goals in different methods. Um, any sort of hypervisor will work. If you want to jump in Azure or AWS, there are free tiers. EC2. All the free tier eligible stuff, Linux, Windows Server 2019 base, all cool things to learn about. Another 2000 base with containers, what we're learning about this week. There should be Windows 2012 R2. I thought there were cores also. Um, Maybe those are the base ones. No. I have to relook into those. Haven't worked in Windows on AWS for a while, so I'm unsure about those. But when you make an account, make sure to use the free tier eligible ones. Um, and when you jump on Azure, make sure to also look at the free tier ones, because I think Azure gives you $200 credit or $250 credit to use. And really, we're just setting up. And when you go into start making these, make sure you have a topology um, that you're drawing out. Where's my Paint 3D? Make sure you have a topology that you're drawing out, and say I need some circles for the router. I don't know, get away. And then I need some servers. And then some lines. So very basic topology. Um, servers connected to a router or firewall. Router or firewall, because we know the router firewall combos do exist. Um, and basically have ideas. I'd start writing IPs on this. If the web server has a public and a private IP, perhaps it's more like this. Perhaps it's just connected to another server or switch. So many different ways to start attacking this project, but just make sure you have an idea and a topology to follow, a logical topology. If you want me to help you look over it, go ahead and send it to me. But we'll look over this and see what the best scenario is to get your project accomplished. What else? The example I was seeing for a project that was looks like it was already getting started on was in Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer, strong tool, definitely to use to draw out your ideas. It has switches, servers, routers, um, and can help you with just that visual representation of how you're going to attack this. Um, and that's it. If you guys have any questions, reach out to me through D2L. Once again, I'm in D2L a lot more often than I am the Front Range email. If you have any questions, reach out to Google Hangouts. I would say if it's a question about the project, I would ask it in Hangouts, just so that everyone starts to see, okay, uh, this person asked this. I can kind of get an idea, because like the chances are that if you have the question, somebody else in the class will have the same question. And that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the project or anything else, and have a good week.